What's going on, guys, and welcome back to our Surviving Java series. And as you can probably tell by my skin, it is now truly the run up to Halloween. So I thought in today's episode we can do something a little bit Halloween-y themed. And the reason that I'm starting here at the main zoo building is that I've thought of an enclosure that we can work on that's sort of spooky compared to the rest of the enclosures. Like, a lot of enclosures tend to be friendly animals, but this time I think that we want to focus on a new one, which is going to be spiders, which we've not yet done. And to be honest with you, I decided this around about 10 minutes ago, so my idea is very undeveloped at the moment as opposed to the enclosure that I want to go ahead with. This running water sound is driving me insane. Let me put my clothes back on before something bad happens. So my initial idea was, because we've got this massive big pathway that leads all the way down to the Pentagon enclosure for the Ravagers, which is down there, I was thinking about midway point around about here-ish, to have like a cave type structure that comes up and over that you actually walk through on the way to the Pentagon. Because you've got the main zoo building over there and then we've got the Pentagon one over there, having something in between on the main map that cuts through for us to actually have some sort of sites to pass through along the way, because otherwise it's a very long stretch without any sort of other enclosures. And I thought it might be a good spot to have the spider one. And my idea is to have like a cave, and then on one side have like the cave spiders and on the other side have normal spiders, is my general idea. But I'm also going to have to try to blend the sort of cave into natural. I'm confused. I'm trying to decide whether to have like an underground section, so you go down steps and have it in like an underground area. That way we won't have to mess around with the terrain on top. But then again, I'm also thinking about I could quite easily blend the cave system, so it's something that you walk through and you've got something to look at on the way here and on the way back, rather than it just being like a out of the way enclosure. But nevertheless, what we are going to want to do is grab a whole bunch of resources, and in order to build a cave, I do believe we are going to need okay, sure. I'm not sure if that's my parrot or not. Are you mine? No, you're not. That's someone else's parrot. We are going to need... Are you my parrot? You are. But you can stay there. We're going to want some like stone, cobblestone. So just grab a couple of shulkers of stone, a couple of shulkers of cobblestone, and then we're probably going to want probably not deep slate, andesite. Have we got much andesite, dude? Got some andesite, so let me grab some shulkers and grab some resources, and what we could do is then head on over to that area and we can start planning out the sort of shell of the place. And also I need to see if there's any mine shafts underneath that area in order to shulker, thank you. Let me grab a few of these, so I'll grab resources. Yeah, so let me grab these resources and then we can have a look over there and start getting the sort of shell and shape sort of set out, so we know roughly what we're going to be working with. So yeah, catch you back in a sec. Alright, so I've managed to grab a whole ton of resources, and so we've got some wool, because we're going to have slime blocks underneath to stop the spiders from killing themselves, because they have a tendency to climb up and then drop down. So we've got andesite, some tuff, got a bunch of moss to make mossy cobble and mossy stone bricks, a bunch of cobwebs, some lighting for inside, glass for the viewing windows, more dark walls, stone, cobblestone, leaves decorational. That one's an empty shulker, because I know that I'm going to have to clear some land, and some oak wood. So I'm thinking of adding some sort of remnants to like a mine shaft or something, as like a scenery piece. But first of all, we actually need to get the outline of this place done. So let's just grab like a bunch of stone for now, and let's just work on roughly how large we want it. So say we want the entrance to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we can sort of just make a rough shape. Is that a good enough outline, do you reckon? It's like, it's very cave-like, isn't it? And if it comes in here and then comes across on the diagonal a bit, so that way we've got one side here for, say, the cave spiders, and then the other side can be for normal spiders. That way it's like a curved exhibit rather than just a straight line through, which is pretty good. I may want to round this side off a bit more, which is the west side. West side? This side. Yeah, if I round this off just a little bit more, just give us a little bit more room. Yeah, because there's no direct theme correlated to the next update, that I'm not too sure what it is that there's nothing that they announce that is game changing in any way whatsoever. So there's nothing like overly to look forward to. I enjoyed the prospects of the camels having a 2-person mountable mob in Minecraft is pretty good, and I've always wanted that because I tend to use horses quite a lot. I enjoy using horses quite a lot. I enjoy like getting around by ground means rather than just using elytra all the time, which is why I work so hard doing all of the pathways. But that alone is not something to look forward to all years. Like usually they'll announce it and then you have 6 months of seeing their progress. I was meant to be taking this out more, not bringing it in purple, wasn't I? Stupid. So like usually when they announce it, you've got a good few months to look forward to all of the new features that they announce. And even if they didn't hit the mark, being let down in that manner, but having that sort of expectation and excitement around an update, I think is a lot more fun and enjoyable. Like imagining all the different things you could do, but with just the prospects of a camel, and hanging signs isn't game changing. It's a nice feature, but it's an easily implemented feature in my books. It's like it's not something that's not been done in modded before, and it's being done in modded pretty well. The same thing with camels. It's being done in modded. Bamboo blocks in modded Minecraft has been there for like years, at least around about 8 or 9 years. When I was playing with bamboo blocks on my first sort of modded playthrough. Where's my bed? So there's nothing in it that's game changing, like the Warden and the ancient cities, and there's a whole new biome and something new to look forward to and explore. There's nothing game changing that they announce, so it's nothing that I'm overly looking forward to when it comes to it. It's like, yeah, the new blocks are going to be fun to play around with and experiment block palettes and sort of increase the details and variations in builds, but it is still just another wood block that is, yeah, it's good to have new blocks added to the game, but it's still just a case that I need something game changing to look forward to, like a new adventure to take on. Like the bamboo rafts, yeah, they look cool, but again, it's just a reskinned boat essentially. Have I got all the... No, I didn't get all the blocks on this side. Get lost. But yeah, that's my views on the update. I'm hoping that in the coming months, where they release more and more news and features about the update, that it'll be more to look forward to. They said that they want to shape it with the community input, which I guess can go one of two ways, as in they're not going to take really big game changing things from the community and try to implement it. So I think if it was up to the community, it would be a lot more involved, and considering that they've got roughly around about between 4 to 6 months in order to work on it before releasing 1.20, if it's in accordance to the time schedule of the previous updates, it's not going to be a long enough time for them to work on something as game changing as like biome generation, I don't think. So yeah, it's a little bit lackluster, and I'm actually more looking forward to the Minecraft Legends than I am the next Minecraft update, which is something that I did not expect going into the Minecraft Live event. But yeah, nevertheless, that's my rant. I'm going to clear this area. We're just going to jump into a time lapse of me doing this, otherwise I could be here all day just moaning and whining about the Minecraft Live thing, because I was sorely disappointed by it. So yeah, let's jump into time lapse and let's get this area done. Alright, so the outside is pretty much done and dusted now. You know what, it's a lot easier if I just go into free cam to show you. So it looks more like a little hobbit hole than it does anything else, which is, I wanted it blended in along the pathway so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb, like a big grey mountain. And the reason that I've done all of the block swapping is so that the interior was mainly done by the time I started working on it. But yeah, as you're like looking from here, it does sort of just blend in nicely. I do need to add some more details to the stone walls, so I'm going to go around doing block swapping on that. Probably add some vines hanging from these trees as well after I've repopulated them. And then I've done the little bushes to match what happens in the natural terrain generation. Although I think I need to add more leaves onto them, they're all very, very square. But I've got plenty of leaves in order to do that, and we jump back into normal mode. Now we've got this sort of cave area to work with, and what I'm planning on doing along the polished and the site going along here, I'm going to have the glass walls going up to the ceiling, and then the interiors here, I need to put down slime blocks. I may actually dig up this layer and then put down slime blocks and then use different carpets, so the grey and the light grey carpets to sort of imitate a ground or sort of stone flooring, but it means that the slime blocks will still take effect if the spiders climb up and then drop back down, because the last thing I want to do is go to the hassle of moving spiders in here and then them dying after around about a couple of days of them dropping constantly. So yeah, what we're going to do now is jump into another time lapse of me. Oh, I need these vines actually, in order to get the interior done, and then once we're ready to start moving the spiders in, we have actually got a cave or a mine shaft somewhere nearby, which is, where are you? I know that I saw it. It's not close, but it's not massively far away either. Mine shaft, where are you? Okay, yeah, it's over here. And over here we have actually got a cave spider spawner. So we've got cave spiders, and then we can get normal spiders to spawn on the surface provided it's nighttime. But yeah, this has taken me the better part of around about 2.5 hours just to do the exterior of the mound, or the spider den that we shall be calling it. And it's probably going to take me just as long to do the interior, so let me get cracking and then I'll bring you back once we're ready to start getting spiders. Alright then guys, so it did take around about, probably a better part of around about 1.5 to 2 hours in order to get all the interior done. There's a couple of changes that I made along the way as I was doing it. There's a couple of things I'm not overly happy with. One thing that I'm not overly happy with is obviously the ground. I think I could make look a lot better if I wasn't having to use forms of carpet. Initially I did try just a section of just light grey, and it looked very, very plain. So in order to sort of draw attention away from that, I took away the lighting underneath the ground, because the carpets swarm-proof the slime blocks anyway. So, and then I've just got some candles next to these little sections of webs, using webs to sort of make it look like a spidery sort of den. And yeah, but other than that, I don't know if I'm happy with the glass as it is either. I don't know if I want to swap to a different shade of glass, like a light grey or a dark or a standard grey coloured glass, just to make it look a little bit more eerie, or I could even opt for using some tinted glass to see how that looks. But I can just test little sections of that as I go forward after I get the spiders in place. I'm also not too sure if I like these hard corners, if I want to put like stone going down these corners to separate the sections of glass. But it does look, I do like the way it looks, and I like the way the little cave looks, and I love all the blending in the walls and the ceiling. Makes it looks very sort of dungeon-esque sort of way. And then I've got a hole here in order to start getting the first lot of spiders in. There's a couple of things that I want to attempt to do with some of the spiders that I get in here. I don't know how difficult or hard it's going to be. But yeah, what we are going to have to do is wait for nightfall in order to try to find a spider, in order to lure in here without it climbing all around the place. Because I've got a feeling if I try to lure it through this gap here, it is just going to climb all over the walls while it's chasing me, which is what spiders tend to do. The other thing that I'm a little bit unsure about is like the section that I've got over here. If a spider somehow climbs up this wall here and then drops from this block onto here, it will take full damage. So we may run into issues with that. But yeah, it's just a case of now waiting for nightfall and then seeing if we can't find some spiders. Can we get rid of some of this just to make room? Yeah, guess I'll catch you back when it gets to night. Alright, so it's now night time and we have got a spider somewhere in this direction. Shut up, girl. I don't know where in this direction though. There you go. Okay, let's see if we can't lure this guy in a zigzag motion all the way back over to our cave. Come on, buddy. Hopefully no other mobs. Hello. Mobs jump out to get us. Yeah. Ow. Okay, what I want him to do is actually climb this wall. And also like to be able to break at you. And then stop moving, dude. No, that's fine. And then we've got a dinner bone name tag, which apparently I'm too short to get him with. There we go. Let's make him go upside down. So that way it looks like he's crawling on the ceiling. And if we get rid of the hitboxes, and we need to replace this carpet. Oh yeah, need to get rid of that block. There we go, that looks pretty cool. I might see if I can get rid of that bit of glass above it in the corner. But otherwise it doesn't look too bad. I don't know if you're able to do it with less panes of glass though. But let me go get some more spiders in place. There's another one in this direction somewhere. Okay, so I think I've managed to get the last ones in that I wanted to get in, and I've managed to get them into smaller boxes up on the ceiling in just like 4 panes and then a pane directly above it. It was excruciatingly difficult. I had to use an invis potion in order to get him into place properly. But the other 3 will then just wander around and bounce around as and how they like. And then we've got 2 that are dinner bone to the ceiling, so it looks like they're crawling along the ceiling with their glowy eyes, which look really freaking cool. And I can't wait until we start working on the cave spiders, but I am going to have to dig a tunnel over to that cave spider spawner in order to get them over here, which means a bit of a jump cut from here to there, because first of all, Screw Knight, thunderstorms suck, got creeper twice, zombies attacking me, Skelly then killed 2 of the spiders that were following me. So yeah, fun and games doing this, but we've got one side sort of done, and then what I may do is wait for Sai or Cloud to get on to see if they want to help get the cave spiders into place. I'm not sure if I'm going to bother trying to get any on the ceiling like I have with these spiders. Because they're 1 by 1, it will be very hard to try to make it so they're unable to get out. I would have to join all 4 of the panes of glass with corner pieces in order to keep one on the ceiling, and they are very squirrely little I was going to say a swear word there, but I will not. But they're very squirrely creatures that they will just get out of anywhere, especially when you're trying to trap them like that. But yeah, nevertheless, got one side done, and I guess I'll catch you back in a bit once I've dug this tunnel and ready to get the cave spiders over. Alright then guys, so I've dug this tunnel down here. I did ask Cloud what he was up to. He's a bit busy this evening, and then Psychotica's also got a lot on her plate at the moment, so I didn't fancy troubling either of them with coming on here to help you with poisonous cave spiders. So I didn't think that was going to be fair on them if I'd put them in the position of needing to say no. But the cave spider spawner is literally just down here, and if I've done this well enough, it shouldn't be too much of an aggro. I don't know if they can fit through a 1 by 2 gap, but we will surely find out. The only bad thing about it when it is this small of a gap is the... Oh, you know what would help is that. First of all, let's get rid of some of these webs. Ah! I was just trying to create a space for you to spawn. See how well. Oh my god, I hate trying to climb stairs when I'm poisoned. Okay. Go on, buddy. There's a few more. Please don't tell me he's lost interest because we're outside. Come on, really? There we go. You're gonna get angry with me now? Yep, now he's angry. Ah. Okay, just come over here. Oh my god, taking tick damage when you're on slime blocks is not good. Okay, lock him in. Okay, that's one. Now I gotta do this at least, like, I'd say I want... Really? I want at least like 7 or 8 of them in. These guys have all found permanent, like, hiding spots. This one's up here. We've got one over in that corner and one up in that corner, and we've got our 2 upside down. I'm fairly sure the cave spiders will probably do the same. They'll probably find corners in order to sort of hang. Because once they climb up, unless they take a target after they've climbed up somewhere, they tend to just stay there. But yeah, nevertheless, let's just crack on and get the rest of these brought up. Alright then guys, so I think I've finally done now. I did spend probably the better part of about another hour to 2 hours getting 2 of these guys into a 3x3x2 glass box. And the way that I done that was by poking holes in from the surface and getting 2 more up, and then for them to drop into the hole. And once they dropped in the hole, quickly put blocks over them, then use pistons to push the blocks back down. So then that way they ended up inside the glass box. One of them did end up taking like crushing damage and die. Now initially I did try just a couple of them that was like stuck to the wall that wasn't moving. I didn't bone them. And then what happens though is that when these spiders sort of climb the wall, like that one over there, if you leave and then come back to the area, or if you leave the world and rejoin and it reloads this area, all the spiders that are stuck to the ceiling will just fall. Like this one up here is currently stuck. Now if I go disconnect and then go reconnect, which is this one, bloop. They automatically just fall. I think it's got something to do, and so did that one fall. It's got something to do with the area being unloaded and then reloaded, like the weld, and it's not registering the, like, it registers the entity before the block, so it knows where the entity is, but not realizing it's gripping onto the block that's there. So it ends up falling before they actually load in the blocks that they're gripping onto. But the ones that I've got with just the glass panes obviously do look a lot nicer than the ones in the glass boxes. But I did want a couple upside down on the ceiling just for sort of effect, because their eyes glow and it does look really cool as you're coming through here. And then the rest of them will just do what spiders do. How many have I got here? I did have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've now only got 5 because I think one of them might have died when I was trying to get these 2 in the box. But yeah, I'm quite happy to call it there. This episode's gone on way longer than I expected. I know that I've got around about at least around about 4 or 5 hours worth of replay footage and about another 4 hours worth of normal recorded footage that I need to sift through to cut down into a reasonable length episode. But nevertheless, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully you've enjoyed the theme of today's exhibit. Between next episode and this episode, I do want to work on the entranceway of here, both front and back, and then also work on the pathway, but that's only if I get the time to in between this episode and next one. And then I can sort of show you how it looks at the beginning of the next episode before we go moving on to our next Halloween-y type themed project. But I've another 2 mobs down from our zoo project, and it fills the gap in on our map. So we've got all of these spider heads now here as the pathway comes down here, just sort of filling it in. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.